And I say ironically, but it may have been by design, 3 years ago on the same day, October the 10th, 2006, my father passed away.
Yeah.
And so that was his last day with us, and 3 years ago, and I'm sure in spirit he's obviously here. He was very supportive of the family and everybody. And I want to again thank everyone for coming, and thank you for sharing all your narratives all these years, because this celebration is almost as much about you as it is about Mom, because your family and she's here. So I'm going to turn it over to my twin sister Michele, and she's going to make a few comments.
I don't know what she
has no idea what As Michael said, we are so glad that you were able to come, and we really thank you for celebrating my mom's birthday. We talked about what we were going to say, and Mom asked me to say some things about her parents. And she had a terrific father, a generous man to all of his children and to us as well. And as you've probably seen him on the pictures, he would visit us every couple of years, or I think Charlie, Granddaddy, as Mom, Charlie loved to be called Charlie by his grandchildren, but Mom said, no, he's Granddaddy, because that's what you need to call Granddaddy and Granny. So anyway, he would come, but he was a generous man, not only to all of his individual children, but he was very generous to us as well. Now, her mother was a woman who never knew a stranger, and Mom has become very much like that. Her mother was very involved in everything, and our mother has, as probably all of you who have grown up with her or been here through all these years, know that Mother was involved in Mother's Club. She was the president of Mother's Club. She dealt with Sky Godes here. She was, very much in charge of the brownies. Sky talked her into taking the lessons and doing the cooking, and Sky said, don't worry, Willie, we'll figure out all the little things that they need to do, and Mother did it. They were they were her first best friend, and so Mother was very much involved in that. And, the siblings, all of us, there were so many memories that we had, not only on the peninsula, but going back to the Russells, and, we have so many of our cousins here. We would go back to Tennessee every couple of years with my mother and Charlie. Charlie would be the scout. My mother would be the driver because she knew she was the best driver. Mother said, and so she would drive. But it's very funny because Mother said to someone today, she said, Michele has terrible, Mother did, was able to say this. Michele is terrible with directions, and I am terrible with directions. So was Charlie. And so Mother would do all the driving, and all four of us would be in the back seat. Michael had his special spot, and it was in the very back with Pat.
No seatbelts.
No seatbelts.
No air conditioning.
No air conditioning. For us to be able to get beyond toward Sacramento and going into Arizona, it was something that we were just, after being in Monterey, it was so incredibly hot for us. But here we were, Sandra and I were in the middle part of the station wagon. Michael and Pat were in the back. I could probably share a wonderful story with Sandra. I remember Charlie, we would be fighting, and he would turn around. He had a little switch that he would keep underneath his visor. And he would say, and he would pull it out periodically, but this was before, the type of parenting that required talk to your children and ask them not to be, ornery. It was the time where you had to switch it, and Granddaddy always had a switch underneath the visor. And he would always, when we were fighting with each other and making too much noise, which happened, and he would take that and he'd go, does anyone want to be switched? And I remember looking at Sandra one day and said, you want to be switched? And Sandra, being the curious scientist, she didn't know she was going to be a scientist, but she had it in her being to be a scientist. Curious, she said, well, maybe if I said, he kind of switched and he says, and now is this enough? And she thought, maybe if because it wasn't bad, she said, maybe if I said no, I wonder what would happen. Now, Michele knew that was the stupidest thing that any young sister could do, but I was only sitting there watching. And I remember Charlie says, now is that enough? And she looked at him and said, no. Whoa! She learned very quickly that you never say that. In fact, Sandra taught me with the switch thing. She said, you know, if you yell really loud, they'll quit. So we learned a lot on that trip. And so that was, you know, we were kind of, the siblings we were together. And so, you know, we've had many, many wonderful times with their mom, driving us across country, with Dad as we were, you know, moving through our lives. Thank you very much. We were really a tight family. So now my cousin Candy is something.